Right. Okay. Hello, everybody, wherever you are, whatever time it is. This is MoveEasy Online Yoga with Via, and it's September 24th. We're going to start in the usual fashion. Just resting on your back, on the floor, noticing the breath that you came in with. And feeling the back of feeling the floor support you, feeling everything that supports you, your breath, your class, the room you're in, the roof that's over your head. Feel the things that are supporting you today. Spend a few minutes focusing on the point that is behind your eye sockets and a little bit lower than your eye sockets. It's your pituitary gland. You have your optical nerves go out through the back of the eye sockets, they cross, and at that point, and a little bit below, is the pituitary gland. This is a very nice, still place to rest your attention. I love my body loves me. I don't think Gracie is ready for breath work, supine. We're going to do vagus nerve reset. You could do it seated if you want, Terry. Just bring your hands behind your head, interlace your fingers. I'm doing mine seated. And then from here, you can stack your hands too if it's uncomfortable to interlace them. From here, just move the eyeballs, shift your eyeballs to the right, and wait for a swallow, sigh, yawn, or gulp. Your eyes can be open or closed, your choice. Come back to center, shift left, just the eyeballs. Come back to center. Repeat this 2 more times without my cueing. Right, left, and then right and left. Finish up. Keep your hands where they are for head ramping. Just pressing the back of your base of your skull at the occipital ridge. Press that into your hands and into the floor. Hold for a couple breaths and then release. And repeat 4 more times. Bring your hands down by your hips. We're going to do, I think we'll do Viloma breathing. It's the most comforting breath for me. And I'm longing to be comforted by my breath today. Viloma breathing, just dividing your inhale into 3 parts. Each part, an inhale filling a part of the lungs, diaphragm. Pausing, inhaling again, adding more breath to the cavity, the lung cavity, diaphragm cavity, and then another 3rd breath. Pause and then exhale in an ordinary fashion. And then repeat. About 4 more times. Last one. Now we're going to do hypopressive. We'll do the bridge hypopressive. Remember, your heels are pressing into the floor, but your toes are up toward the ceiling. And in this hypopressive movement, we're going to take 3 breaths, and then when you hold your breath out, you lift your hips. Kathy can demonstrate this now. Lift your hips and bring your arms overhead. And then I'll count to 12, and then you return the hips to the floor and the arms to the floor. So 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. So bring your hips back down for this part. Inhale. Exhale. And one more. Inhale. Completely exhale. Hold your breath out, no breath. Lift your hips, bring your arms overhead. And stay here. 1, 2, 3, 4, no breath. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Inhale, drop your hips, and exhale, drop your arms. We'll do that one more time. This is a hypopressive bridge pose, basically. So 3 breaths, 3 ordinary breaths. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. No breath. Hold your breath out and lift your hips and your arms overhead. 1, 2, 3, 4. Come out early if you need to. 5, 6. No breath. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Whoops, why did I go so far? Come on down. I was thinking about the speaker. I was trying to set my speaker up. So I just kept counting. You can come on down. That's the danger of trying to do two things at once. But I'm sure you came down if you had to earlier. We're going to do mostly neck and shoulders today. Then we're going to start with therapy balls on a brick with the neck and jaw series. So first we're supine, then we're sideline. I think there's 3 movements, supine, and 3 movements, three locations, I should say, supine and 3 sideline. Lying on your balls, you can have a brick underneath your head. It depends on you. It's more for your comfort level. You can use a big set of balls or a small set. They should be in the tote. Lie on your back, put the balls under your head. Now, Kathy, show them how you can put a brick under your head as well. The brick, and because that's the way, probably the way most people will do it. Now, if it's more comfortable, after a while, you've loosened up your shoulders and your neck here, you might not need a brick, especially if you're using an alpha ball, bigger balls. So find your location, put your balls at the occipital ridge. The trick is to keep them up there and not let them slide down into the curvature, the natural curvature of the cervical spine. And up and down, just a small up and down position. Remember, some things, some people, if it's too hard to do this, you can do this. Well, not this one, but the sideline series, you can do seated.
Could you use a sponge ball instead of the balls?
And you could use a sponge ball instead of the ball, of the harder, grippier ball.
But this feels good.
So just chin up, chin down. It's nodding, you're nodding yes. And then let's go to no. Do about 6, both sides, and count that as a set, and then 6 of them. That's position 1. And the next thing we're going to do, still at location 1, is do an infinity, or so do a figure 8 or an infinity with your nose. Just start in one direction, do 6. Damn it, oh, I broke a glass and spilled some water. Okay. And then when you're done with that, when you've done both directions, look all the way to the right. Your head is going to, your neck is going to be on the right ball only. Look all the way to the right and nod, chin up, chin down. About 6 times. and then side to side. Just make sure that your side to side movement is small so that you're not coming all the way back to center. But just a little movement while you're looking to the right. Come back to center, look to the left. As far as to the left as you can get. Your neck is resting, the side of your neck actually is resting on the left ball. Just nodding, chin up, chin down. And side to side. Come on back. And actually, so there's only two positions on your supine, two positions on your back. Now you're going to go side lying with a brick underneath your head. And then one therapy ball. So take the ball out of the bag. Maybe I'll try to do this with you. This is the stress reducing series. Lie on your brick, on your side, on your brick, one ball behind the earlobe. And nod. Let's do 9 of these. These feel really good.
Yeah, they do.
And this is an area a lot of people hold tension. Now, if this is too much for you, do something similar to this in a seated position so that you're not having your entire body weight on the balls. You're just rubbing the balls over this area. And then side to side. And then bring your ball to the second location, sideline location. It's at the jaw or the cheek, jawbone. And then find a position that's good for you. Remember, you can be doing this from a seated position also. And then up and down. And side to side. And then open and close your mouth. Last location in the neck and jaw series therapy balls is at the temple. Actually, there are a number of places that will feel good to you. Find your best place. And then nod. Side to side. And go ahead and switch to the other side. We'll do the same series. I said there were 3 locations on the back, but there were only 2. But these are the side lying positions anyway now. So lying on your side with the ball, with one therapy ball behind your earlobe. And nodding, chin up, chin down. Side to side. And move. No, open your mouth. No, that's the jaw. Move to the jaw. Sorry. Could open your mouth. It probably wouldn't hurt, but this is where we usually do it. Up and down. So remember that your best teacher is you and your own intuition. I'm just making suggestions. Side to side, at the jawbone or the cheek. It would be nice if you memorized this series. This is a great series to help you go to sleep, help you deal with stress, help with TMJ and migraines. Open and close your mouth. And then come up to your temple. Bring the ball up to the temple. And nod. Side to side. And then just let go of your ball and your brick. Come onto your back. You may want to put a mobility strip along your back or a towel rolled up. The mobility strip, if you're using it, should start at your bra line and go up toward your ears along your spine. We're just going to do a basic shoulder series here. I'm going to get a mobility strip. So lying on your mobility strip, if you have it, this just allows you a little bit more movement in your upper back. It sort of requires more movement in your upper back, that's what it does. So you're resting your head on your towels or maybe your mobility strip. Something that makes your neck comfortable, so you're not cranking your neck backwards. Arms up toward the ceiling. And protraction and retraction. So using the scapula, moving the arms with the scapula. So the scapula moves away from the spine, and then it retreats, it retracts, and moves back towards the spine. And up and down you go about 6 times. Protraction and retraction. Make sure you're using the scapula to do the moving. And now go ahead and you can bring your, protract your scapula and then bring your arms overhead by your ears. And then bring them back. So overhead arms, just back and forth about 6 times. Stop this movement. Grab 2 therapy balls out of the tote and put them, we're going to do a bridge. Well, we're going to do a bridge and try to work on releasing the upper traps. So put them, the first time they're actually close together behind your neck at the spine. Kathy, if you could sit up, I could try to have you describe where these 2 positions are. There are 2 points, pressure points along the spine. So bring your, so first the balls are close together along your trapezius, and then they're a little, about 1 inch or 2 apart. 2 different places. Kathy, turn your back to the camera so that people can see. Okay, so the first place is right next to each other. Push, yes, it's there at the top of your spine, along the shoulders, and then the next one is a little farther out. You will feel these locations, so don't worry about not knowing where they are. They will talk to you, I'm thinking. If they don't, please send me a note and I'll help do something to help with that. So first the balls are close together. You're lying on the floor, or you've taken your mobility strip away, if you had one, or your towel. You're lying on the floor, balls close together, as high as you can get them and still trap them basically with your shoulders. Now from here, and you may want to have something underneath your head. From here, just lift your hips. Lift your hips, and if you need to, you can stay here, lift your hips, and if you need to, you can put a brick under your hips, so that you don't have to both keep your hips up and endure the discomfort, which you probably are feeling from this much pressure on these 2 points. Just stay here, breathe. If you want to, you can go a little bit up and down and a little bit side to side, but you don't have to, because the compression here, as you can probably experience, is quite a lot without any movement. Come on down and then come back up again, leaving the balls at the same place. Maybe you'll be better at it this time. You'll be more aware of what, the area that we're working on. This is the upper traps where we hold a lot of tension. Lift your hips. and then bring them down. Now, the next time you do this, you're gonna do the same thing, but you're gonna place the balls about an inch or two apart. At the same location, if you can still trap them, at the same level at the shoulders, and then just lift your hips up. So find the new location and lift your hips. And breathe. And then come on down.
I didn't hear you.
Come on down. Come on down. I have a speaker on my chest. I don't know why you didn't hear me.
I've got birds going on in the background.
Oh, okay. Let's do this one more time with the balls a little bit apart, right? And you should be able to, your body should tell you where these balls should be. Then just lift your hips and breathe. If it's too much, like on the right now, it's too much, all of a sudden for me, I'm gonna move my ball a little bit farther out and see if that, just stay in the, I'm gonna stay in the neighborhood, but move out a little bit. Oops, I'm not sure that's better. So Kathy has a brick under her butt. That's great. That's fine. And then whenever you're ready, just come on down. Bring the balls together and about an inch down your chest. So this time we're not going to do a bridge. We're just going to do, there's any number of things you could do with your arms here to go up and down. I guess what I want you to do is put your hands behind your head, cradle your occipital ridge of your skull and rest it in your arms, and then use your feet to go just a little up and a little back. So you're about an inch or two down below where you were before. The balls are together. We're going to release the muscles alongside the spine, the erector spinae and the multifidus. These little muscles that can get very tight and affect our posture and our well-being. So just up and down a little bit and then side to side a little bit. Swaying side to side. If this is too much, you can use a sponge ball, or you could put a towel or a blanket over the balls, over the therapy balls, to make it a little less intense. Go ahead and move both balls down about another inch or two. It'll feel different. It's going to feel different. It's going to start feeling a little like a back bend, I think. And then from here, same thing. There's lots of things we could do with our arms, but I want to get on to some other things. So we're just going to do the simplest version of this, just a sliding up and down, just a wee bit. And then a small shimmy side to side. We're also releasing some of the muscles, the intercostal muscles in the rib cage now. Finish that and then drop down about an inch or two. This should feel different at every location. Both balls side by side, close together, farther down the middle of the upper back. Oh my gosh. A little teeny weeny up and down. Mine's gonna be really teeny. Remember, you can, I'm gonna put my elbows down and see if I can have less pressure on the balls right now, because this must be an area I hold a lot of tension in. So I can, if I put my elbows down, bend elbows, I don't have all my body weight on the ball. I can go up and down, I can go side to side. It works a little better for me. Oops, there's a spot though. Wow, okay. You get a narrative from me today. Let's do one more location, just an inch or two below that. Just sort of at the bottom of your rib cage. Still holding on to your head so that you're not, you're not re-stressing. We just released your neck and shoulders. We don't want to, so just let your head rest in your hands. And then a small movement. This is very small for me. Back and forth. Maybe not much, maybe. And then a small movement side to side, just moving the butt a little bit. I'm just swaying my hips a little bit. This is like a huge massage or back hug, back scratch. Okay, let's go ahead and slowly come up off the floor. Come up to seated and see how it feels to have done all of that. Let me see my time here. Okay, and I think let's do two things while we're seated, floor seated. Then we're going to go back down and do some side lying arms. This whole class is about shoulders. So from here, let's do two things. Let's do a side bend. So take your right hand, slide it along the floor. Left arm comes up and over. Stay here and breathe. Take some breaths. Drop your elbow forward so that you can stretch at the latissimus dorsi. Your bonus move. Come back up. Elbow up. Torso up. So come all the way up to seated. Other side, left arm along the mat, right arm up and over. Side bending. Stretching at the QL, that muscle between the pelvis and the rib cage along the spine. That's your waist muscle. Elbow forward, latissimus dorsi, another stretch. You can move your head if you want. It might feel good to move your head from side to side. Elbow up, torso up. Let's do a side, a spine twist with intercostal slide. So cross your legs, take your right hand over to your left knee. Let's twist to the left. So spinal rotation to the left. Make your fingers into a little spider on the backhand. See if you can get your rotation, your chest to rotate all the way forward to the parallel with the end of the mat. You won't be able to do this, but that's your goal. And now, once you find your spine twist, then just start to move slide the rib cage from side to side. Explore what's tight in the intercostal muscles that are between the ribs. Come on back, just slowly bring yourself back. Left hand, right knee. You can cross your legs differently this time. And then spinal rotation. See if you can get your chest almost parallel to the end of the mat. With your fingers are like a spider behind you on your back arm. Sit tall. And once you found your spine twist, start to slide your rib cage back and forth, left and right. And come on back and find your way onto your side again on the floor. We're going to do the sideline arm series. You can either use a small brick or a big brick. I can't find my big brick. There it is. Lie on your side. The first thing you're going to do is scapula protraction, retraction. So the arm comes out in front of you, parallel to the floor. The scapula moves away from the spine, protraction, and the arm moves because of the scapular movement. So just do that about 6 times. This is going to, these movements, these basic arm and shoulder movements are going to help prevent frozen shoulder. And then go ahead and bring your arm up towards the ceiling and then back to parallel. Do this about 6 times. Bring your arm up towards the ceiling. Internal rotation, internal, external rotation. So move the arm forward and then back. I like to put my hand on the front of the arm bone so I can feel what's happening. This is an internal and external rotation. Make a fist. It'll help you stay out of a wrist movement. You don't want the wrist and elbow move because the head of the arm bone moved in the glenohumeral joint. So don't have the elbow or the wrist initiating this movement. And then go ahead and bring your arm down beside your hip. We're going to do a technical snow angel. So the first thing you're going to do is externally rotate. So your palm is up, and then bring your arm up towards your ear. Palm will be facing the floor when you get to your ear. Then bring your palm forward and bring your arm back to your hip. Technical snow angel, well, half of one. And up you go to the ear. And down you come to the hip. Externally rotate up to the ear. Palm forward and back to the hip. 2 more times. And 1 more time. Now shoulder circles. Just bring your arm back behind you and up by your ear and in front of you and by your hip. About 6 times. Just make it slow. Keep your hips and your shoulders stacked. When you've done 6, or approximately 6, reverse your direction. Finish up, and we'll do flying pizza, half a flying pizza. Your palm is facing the floor, your forearm is forward, your elbow is bent and tucked into your waist. Keep your elbow tucked in, bring your arm up, back behind you, and by the time you get there, you've rotated your wrist so it's facing your ear. Come on back, palm faces floor, come on up, palm faces ear. So the wrist is rotating. So this is both a wrist movement and a rotator cuff movement. So you should feel most of what you feel here is in the upper back and around the scapula. Strengthening the rotator cuff muscles so they won't fail on you. And just finish up. And then switch sides. Switch to the other side. We'll do all those movements. And that might be the end of the class, actually, time-wise. You'll have to come back for more shoulder work. Maybe I'll do a second class. We need a workshop on shoulders, maybe. So many good shoulder movements. So the first thing is protraction, retraction. So remember, this is a scapular movement. It's not a movement of the arm. Scapula pulls away from the spine and then returns toward the spine. And a couple more of those. So we've done these twice today, so that's actually a very good thing. And then the arm comes up to the ceiling and comes down. This is sometimes called sunrise, sunset. Think about what's happening on the inside of the arm, the head of the arm, where the arm bone meets the glenohumeral joint at the shoulder. What's happening there? One more. And then bring your arm up to the ceiling and touch the front of the arm bone and start to internally rotate. So internally rotate at the head of the femur. Internally rotate it, bring it forward, and then bring it backward. You can make a fist. This will keep you from having the wrist initiate this movement instead of the arm bone. So the movement should come where the head of the arm bone meets the glenohumeral joint. Back and forth, internally rotating and externally rotating. One more. And then bring your arm down by your hip for a technical snow angel. Externally rotate, come on up. Come back. Palms faces the front of the room. Just back and forth you go. Palm up to the ceiling. Palm facing the front of the room. Two more. And then go ahead and start to make shoulder circles. Just bring your arm back behind you. Overhead, in front of you, by your hips. circling. This is one of my favorite shoulder movements. Almost, once you decide to circle, it does itself. I don't have to cue internal or external rotation or anything else. Keep your hips stacked and your arms stacked. And reverse your circle. And finish up. Come into flying pizza with your forearm forward, your bent elbow tucked into your waist, and bring your arm up. Then there's a wrist movement. So when you come down, palm is face the floor. When you come up, palm rotate, wrist rotates, and palm faces ear. Feel this in the back of the shoulder of the scapula. And two more. Find your way onto your back for Yoga Nidra. On the way there, maybe you want to try to notice what happened on the way in this class that focused on shoulders. You'll get a chance also to do that when you come up to seated. Find a comfortable place. I'm going to take my picture away. Find my script. Oops. There it is. 61-point guided yoga nidra meditation. Starting to observe your breath and notice that your belly rises and falls with the flow of your breath. Now bring your awareness to the center of your eyebrows, center of your throat, right shoulder, elbow, wrist, right thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, right wrist, elbow, shoulder, center of your throat, left shoulder, elbow, wrist, left thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, left wrist, elbow, shoulder, center of your throat, spiritual heart center, right side of your chest, heart center, left side of your chest, heart center, navel center, center of your pelvis, right hip, knee, ankle, right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, right ankle, knee, hip, center of your pelvis, left hip, knee, ankle, left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, left ankle, knee, hip, center of your pelvis, navel center, heart center, center of your throat, center of your eyebrows. This concludes our 61-point guided meditation. Go ahead and start to wiggle and stretch. Stretch your legs and your arms overhead. Create a little bit of extra space between your pelvis and your rib cage by stretching your arms and your legs. Wiggling, rotating wrists and ankles, wiggling fingers and toes, stretching right, left, and then hug your right leg into your chest, and then your left. Bring both legs to your chest and hug and roll and rock and roll from side to side. And then roll all the way to the side in a fetal position using your bottom arm as a pillow. Stay here for a couple breaths. Put your top hand on the floor, palm down, and come up to seated without rounding your back. Please, everybody, unmute. And I will put my picture back on. And I'm going to put you into gallery view. I can't do that for you. You get to choose your view. But if you want to see all of the people who are here, then you'll want to go to gallery view. Bring your hands to your heart. Press your palms very strongly into each other. And release that. Make your prayer pose soft. Lift your occipital ridge and roll it and nod it forward over the top of the C1, cervical spine 1. Nodding and bowing to each other, acknowledging, honoring the light in each other, knowing that we're all one light. We're going to close the class by saying to each other, Namaste.
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 You.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.